Hello everyone. This video is prepared for first BSc, first semester in the subject Food Science and Nutrition. The paper is Human Physiology. This is the continuation class of the first chapter under skeletal system. Now we will be studying the growth of long bone. Ossification or osteogenesis is the process of bone formation by osteoblasts. Osteoblasts are the bone cells. Ossification is distinct from the process of calcification, whereas calcification takes place during the ossification of bones. It can occur in any other tissues. Also, ossification begins approximately at the age of 6 weeks after fertilization in an embryo. Before this time, the embryonic skeleton consists entirely of fibrous membranes and hyaline cartilage. The development of bone from fibrous membranes is called intramembranous ossification. Development from hyaline cartilage is called endochondral ossification. Bone growth continues until approximately till the age of 25 years. Bones can grow in thickness throughout life, but after the age of 25 years, the formation functions primarily in bone remodeling and repair. Now, we'll see how a long bone grows and develops. This picture, you can see the parts of a long bone and how different parts are explained. The outer shell of the long bone is made of cortical bone, also known as compact bone. This is covered by a membrane of connective tissue called periosteum. Beneath the cortical bone, there is a layer of spongy cancellous bone. Inside this is the medullary cavity, which has an inner core of bone marrow. It contains nutrients and help in the formation of cells made up of yellow bone marrow in the adult and red bone marrow in the children. Now let us see the development of typical long bone. The epiphyseal plate is an area of growth in a long bone. It is a layer of hyaline cartilage where ossification occurs in immature bones. On the epiphyseal side of the epiphyseal plate, cartilage is formed. On the diaphyseal side, cartilage is ossified, allowing the diaphysis to grow in length. In the region where long bone is to be formed, mesenchymal cells get converted to cartilage, producing chondroblasts. These cells produce a cartilaginous model of bone. This cartilage is covered by perichondrium. Endochondral ossification starts in the central part of the cartilaginous model, that is, at the center of the future shaft. In this picture, you can see in the different stages how bone growth occurs from hyaline cartilage to the compact bone. This area at the center of the shaft is called the primary center of ossification. Gradually, the bone formation extends from the primary center towards the end of the shaft. This also you can see in the second part of this picture. The periosteum is seen at the center for primary ossification. In the third picture, the secondary ossification is seen. This is accompanied by progressive enlargement of the cartilaginous model. Soon after the appearance of the primary center and the onset of the endochondral ossification in it, the perichondrium, which may be now called as periosteum, the membrane which covers the bone, becomes active. The osteoprogenitor cells in its deeper layer lay down bone on the surface of the cartilaginous model by intramembranous ossification. This periosteal bone completely surrounds the cartilaginous shaft and is therefore called the periosteal collar. At about the time of birth, the developing bone consists of a part called the diaphysis, that is bony and has been formed by extension of primary center of ossification and ends that are cartilaginous. That is you can see in the pictures given in the last slide. At varying times after birth, secondary centers of endochondral ossification appear in the cartilage, forming the ends of the bone. These centers enlarge until ends become bony. More than one secondary center of ossification may appear at either end of the bone. The portion of bone formed from the secondary center is called epiphysis. For a considerable time after birth, the bone of the diaphysis and the bone of any epiphysis are separated by a plate of cartilage called epiphyseal cartilage or epiphyseal plate. This is formed by cartilage into which ossification has not extended either from the diaphysis or from the epiphysis. Metaphysis. What is this metaphysis? Metaphysis is a plate, plays a vital role in growth of bone. The portion of the diaphysis adjoining the epiphyseal plate is called the metaphysis. You can see these metaphysis in the picture which is provided here. It is the region of active bone formation, and for this reason it is highly vascular in nature. Long bones continue to lengthen potentially until adolescence. Through the addition of bone tissue at the epiphyseal plate, they also increase in width through oppositional growth. How does the lengthening of bones takes place? Chondrocytes on the epiphyseal side of the epiphyseal plate divide. One cell remains undifferentiated near the epiphysis and one cell moves towards the diaphysis. The cells which are pushed from the epiphysis mature and are destroyed by calcification. This process replaces cartilage with bone on the diaphyseal side of the plate, resulting in the lengthening of the bone. Long bones stop growing at around the age of 18 in females and at the age of around 21 years in males in a process called epiphyseal plate closure. During this process, cartilage cells stop dividing and all of the cartilage is replaced by bone. The epiphyseal plate fades, leaving a structure called the epiphyseal line or epiphyseal remnant, and the epiphysis and diaphysis fuse. And how the long bone becomes thick and strong. Oppositional growth is the increase in diameter of bones by the addition of bone tissue at the surface of bones. Osteoblasts at the bone surface secrete bone matrix, and osteoclasts in the inner surface break down bone. The osteoblasts differentiate into osteocytes. A balance between these two processes allows the bone to thicken without becoming too heavy. This is about the growth of long bone. Thank you.